Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of this East Coast Football League semi-pro football contest between the visiting Middlesex Longhorns and the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers. As per usual, the Wi-Fi is a little shaky out here, but yeah, it's looking like it's a little bit better than it was last Saturday, and regardless of how good or bad it ends up being over the course of this live stream, we always upload a fully recorded version after the game is over, so if the Wi-Fi causes, any big plays to be cut out, those plays will still be available to be watched here on YouTube on this very channel later on tonight. We had a little bit of inclement weather during pregame today. Had some light rain going with the usual stiff breezes coming off the Charles River over on our left, and those conditions might be coming back here and there throughout the game, so hopefully that doesn't cause too much of an issue. And hopefully, as the guy with all the expensive electrical equipment making this stream happen, I'm just hoping that the weather stays a little more well-behaved as we go. In the meantime, taking a look at our two teams coming into this one. The Badgers entering this game with an 0-2 record. They opened the season with a 27-7 loss to the Rhody Ravens on the road. And then last week had their home opener against the Rhode Island Raptors. Lost that one 35-12, but their offense showed some promise in that game, driving into the opponent's red zone 4 times and scoring 2 touchdowns on their last 2 drives of the game. So we'll see if they can maybe translate that into some more points here against the Longhorns. The visitors come in with a record of 1-1. They opened their season with a loss to those Rhode Island Raptors that I just mentioned. A closer loss than the Badgers had, though, as the Longhorns fell to the Raptors 19-16 in their season opener. And then last weekend, they faced off against the Connecticut Lightning and came away with a dominant 32-0 victory. So both teams with offenses that are trending upward, both of them about doubled their offensive output between Game 1 and Game 2, which could potentially speak more to strength of opponent than anything else. But we'll see what they have in store for each other here today. I'm going to briefly... Yeah, the Wi-Fi is really struggling now. We had gotten off to a good start, but now it's really struggling here as we get ready for the opening coin toss. Once again, my apologies. The Wi-Fi connection out here at Daly Field's just not good. It hasn't been good all year here in 2024. And I wish there was more we could do about it, but aside from promising that we will upload the fully recorded version later tonight, and, just hoping and praying and keeping our fingers crossed that things even themselves out as we go. Aside from that, there's not much else we can do. As we get ready for the opening coin toss, both teams' representatives out at midfield with the officials. Just awaiting the coin toss. All right, looks like the Longhorns won the toss and elected to receive the opening kickoff. It's kind of a rare selection these days in football. It's become a lot more popular to defer to the second half, but the Longhorns deciding they want the ball. So it looks like the Badgers will be kicking off. They'll be defending from the left side, while the Longhorns defend from the right here in the first quarter. I'm going to try and hit the stop stream button, and I'm going to start it up again, see if that helps a little bit. All right, don't know if that will do any good. Looks like not really. But, you know, we do the best we can with what we have. Oh, looks like maybe I got the directions mixed up? No, I didn't. The Longhorns got the directions mixed up. That was very confusing. Their representatives at the coin toss ended the coin toss procedure standing on the right side of the field, and then they went out like they were going to be defending the left side. So the Badgers got a couple players out here with jersey numbers I don't really aren't on their listed roster. So there might be some new players out here, some last-minute additions. So if anyone in the live chat knows anything in regards to that, in regards to who some of those players are, then I encourage you to let me know in the live chat. Number 80, Greg Ryan, who scored one of the Badgers' 2 touchdowns as a wide receiver last week against the Raptors. He lines up as their kickoff man, back deep for the Longhorns. One of them I see is number 3, Jesse Round. And I think the other one might be number 4. I'm not sure, but there's, oh no, it's number 1, Kyle Pena. Badgers versus Longhorns underway, and a weird bounce on the kickoff, and it's recovered by number 8, who gets tripped up and brought down. That was Naro Gee on the return, and we got a Badgers player limping off the field. That is number 1, Roland Morales. Certainly hope he's okay. I feel like he's come off the field a couple of times this year. And so hopefully he's okay. Hopefully this isn't, sign of things building to something worse. In the meantime, the Longhorns, with their first offensive possession, they're going to start 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. And we got a whistle early. Was a timeout called? Well, one thing I want to ask right off the bat, if there are any Longhorns fans tuning into this, I think I saw that number 4 is the quarterback, but there are 2 players listed as number 4 on the Longhorns roster on the league site, Stephen Page and DJ Satri. And I'm not sure which one is the quarterback because they didn't have positions listed. So if there's anyone able to help with that, let me know. We got our first note in the live chat from Tanisha Small, a very simple "Let's go Badgers," as we get ready for the first play from scrimmage. QB takes the snap, dropping back, avoids the rush, slings a pass, finds a man, complete to Jesse Round for a first down. Badgers pass rush was able to get into the backfield, but a good step forward by the quarterback, number 4. Got him enough time to hit Round going across the field. That's a 17-yard gain on the pass. Gets him 1st and 10 at midfield. 2 receivers on either side of the formation this time. Quarterback takes a snap, hands off, running into the pile and brought down was number 1, Kyle Pena. Gain of 5 yards exactly. It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 45 as the Longhorns cross into Badgers territory. 2 positive plays back-to-back. They come out with 2 receivers on either side once again. Number 4 takes a snap, steps back, has time, throws over the middle, hits his man, and that'll be good for a first down. It's Round once again. A little pushing and shoving on the far end of the field, away from where the ball was. Looks like they're not throwing any flags off of the extracurriculars there. And so a simple 6-yard gain on the quick pass from 4 to Round. Gives them 1st and 10 at the Badgers' 39-yard line. Quick screen pass this time and evades a tackle, and a man slipped. He's cutting towards the middle and shakes off a tackle. He's still going, but he slipped. Slipping and sliding over the field. The catch and run by number 6, Rakeem Langston. Good for another Longhorns first down, as a couple Badgers defenders didn't wrap him up properly. Just tried to give a hard hit and he would not go down. And then one guy even slipped and fell. That gave Langston more of an opening for a bigger gain after the catch. 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 21, looks like. Snap, quick screen, quick out route this time. But this time the receiver quickly wrapped up. Number 33, Jonathan Joseph, on the tackle on Langston. And that will be the shortest gain. So far looks like no gain, actually. So the first non-positive play for the Longhorns, off a good tackle in the open field by the Badgers' defensive back, Jonathan Joseph. This time they got the running back Lined up behind the quarterback as opposed to next to him. 2 receivers on either side. Snap, looking, fires, hits on a simple slant route, and that's going to be good probably for another Longhorns first down on the completion to number 28, Brandon Bennett. That brings the Longhorns inside the 10. And it will be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Longhorns trying to get on the board on their first offensive possession. Snap, handoff. No, they fake the handoff. It's a QB keeper by number 4, and he dives into the end zone for a Longhorns touchdown. Number 4, who is either Stephen Page or DJ Satri, faked the handoff to Pena, found an opening up the middle, and scores on a 7-yard run. Now the Longhorns line up for a 2-point conversion. Snap, quick throw, out route, I believe Langston gets in there. Actually, it was number 5, Isaac Bethay, who catches the short out route there. So the Middlesex Longhorns drive all the way from their own 33 to the end zone. 67 yards on the drive. Only one play did not earn them positive yardage as they methodically drove down for the game's first score. A 7-yard QB keeper for the touchdown and a quick pass to number 5, Isaac Bethay, for the 2-point conversion. DJ Satcher is number 1? Oh. So there's a couple of mislabels from the roster I got off the league site. Thank you very much for the correction, ESOS94. Now a kickoff, it's kind of short, and it's going to roll out of bounds. That one a little off the mark from Jesse Pierce. So if DJ Satcher is number 1, then I'm assuming that number 4 is Stephen Page. Is that correct? Boy, it looks like our stream is really having a tough time out here. And again, I apologize for bad Wi-Fi. I hope you guys are at least able to hear my calls all right. But for now, I'm going to operate under the assumption that the Longhorns number 1 is DJ Satcher, and so the quarterback number 4 is Stephen Page. In the meantime, the Badgers come out for their first offensive possession, 1st and 10 from their own 35 after the out-of-bounds kickoff. 3 receivers on the tight side on the near side of the field, but they send number 0, Christian Alisea, in motion over to the left side. Marquise Hughes takes the snap, hands off Cuba Morales, nowhere to go. They're going to mark that as no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 35. We saw the Badgers, like I said, have some offensive success against the Rhode Island Raptors. Not enough to keep up on the scoreboard, but enough that it showed some promise. We'll see if they're able to capitalize on some of that promise here today. 3 receivers to the left of Hughes, 1 to the right. Oh, and it looks like the Badgers' right tackle got hard counted by his own quarterback there. False start. And that'll push him 5 yards back. 2nd and 15 now from the 30. Same basic formation. 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Low snap. Hughes barely recovers, takes off scrambling, throws, hits Greg Ryan, who shakes off 1 tackle and takes off running. And he's got some room. Greg Ryan down the sideline. No one's going to catch him all the way. A flag on the play, it looks like. Is this one coming back? Greg Ryan seemed to have a 70-yard catch and run. But what's the flag? It looks like this is coming back. I'm trying to see what they signaled. I couldn't quite see what they signaled on the penalty, but it is against the Badgers. Looks like it's going to be a spot foul. And so the Badgers, instead of a 70-yard touchdown, effectively get a 3-yard gain without wasting it down, which I suppose is better than nothing, but boy, to have an exciting play like that called back, that's brutal. 2nd and 12 now from the 33. Hughes takes the snap, looking to throw, throws one, cut off and picked off, and it's going to be a run back, and instead it will be a Longhorns touchdown off the interception from number 33, Nick Carvalho. Badgers tried to go for a simple rub route there on the near side, but rather than man coverage, they went for a zone look, and so Carvalho passed off his initial receiver and was right in the path of Hughes' pass intended for Dasani Houston on an out route there. And Carvalho just jumped in front of the ball. And I don't think Houston realized that his route was being jumped until it was too late for him to try and get a better position to try and defend the potential interception there. So a pick 6 for the Longhorns. And boy, if that's not a backbreaker morale-wise, you go from a potential 70-yard touchdown on the offense to instead a pick 6. And in an instant, rather than tying it up, you're down 2 scores. Page takes the snap. Quick pass is dropped. Disrupted by, I think, George Tate, the cornerback. It was Tate who applied the hit as Bennett had his hands on it, but could not hold on. 14-0, the Longhorns lead here in the first quarter off a brutal reversal of fortune. Now he's set up for a kickoff. Pierce sends a slow rolling one. It's covered by Christian Alisea. And so the Badgers take over. So the Badgers do know they're capable of making plays on offense, as they were one rough penalty away from scoring a touchdown of their own. We'll see what they do here. Two receivers on either side of Hughes on 1st and 10 from the 40. Takes a snap, quick screen pass. Kyle Hudson takes it. And stripped. Ball was punched out. It's on the ground. And who's recovered? A flag thrown at the end there. And so a little confusion. The officials not even pointing a possession direction. Kyle Hudson took the screen pass, was trying to fend off a tackler, when the tackler punched the ball out of his hands, but it looks like they've called a penalty on the Longhorns. It was offsides on the Longhorns, so it was effectively a free play for the Badgers. So this time the penalty luck swings the Badgers' way, as we've got an additional penalty at the end of the play. And that's going to move the Badgers all the way down to the Longhorns' 40-yard line. Two receivers on either side of Hughes once again. Oh, off timing on the snap there. False start on the Badgers. Gonna push him back 5 yards. That's their second false start penalty today, as they'll have 1st and 15 from the Longhorns' 45. Now Hughes takes the snap, looking to throw, trying to scramble away from the pressure, finds a bit of room, still running, heaves one deep downfield, picked off again by Carvalho. Carvalho read that one more like an outfielder as he cut in front of the intended receiver, Jonathan Joseph. Hughes' throw was too shallow for Joseph, too deep for Greg Ryan. It's a better situation than the last interception, which went for 6. But once again, the Badgers turn it over. So the Longhorns take over 1st and 10 from what appears to be their own 12-yard line. So deep in their own territory here. We've had some very speedy possessions so far. Sometimes in these ECFL games, you'll have games where the entire first quarter is just taken up by 2 possessions. But here we are. This is our 4th, and we're still going as Page takes the snap. He's looking for a deep shot, throws over the middle, finds a man. Sliding catch made by the Longhorns, number 8, Naro Gee. That'll be good for a Longhorns first down, and it looks like that's going to end the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, the score, the Middlesex Longhorns 14, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 0. Let's take a minute here and just hear a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing LLC. I am very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
Thank you again to Dana Perello and Diamond Pressure Washing for supporting Golden Badgers football. The Longhorns will start the second quarter, 1st and 10 at their own 30. Page takes the snap, looks to throw, hits Round over the middle, and Round taken down just past midfield. As some wind and rain starts to build up. Once again here at Daly Field. The completion to Jesse Round gets the Longhorns across midfield. They'll have 1st and 10 at the Badgers' 49-yard line. Page back to throw. Quick flip out to Bennett. Bennett with some yards after the catch gets close to the first down marker. They might mark him there. They might mark him a yard short. Looks like it's going to be a yard short at the 40. It'll be 2nd and 1 for the Longhorns. Two receivers on either side of Page. Drops back. Again, flips it out to Bennett, and Bennett's got open space to run once again. Forced out of bounds, but he got the first down and a whole lot more. And that's the thing. The Longhorns have established their deep passing game, so the Badgers have to respect that and drop back into deeper coverage. And that just leaves Brandon Bennett with all kinds of room to run on these simple dump-off passes. 1st and 10 for the Longhorns from the Badgers' 25-yard line. Page back to throw again. Floats one. Miscommunication as that one misses badly. He was expecting a go route, but the receiver pulled up. And so instead it will be 2nd and 10. And a timeout is called by the Badgers. The Longhorns moving the ball consistently on offense. The Badgers, they've had opportunities, but just have not been able to capitalize on them. Some of the stuff that was able to work against the Raptors not working so far against the Longhorns, whether it be the scramble throws from Marquise Hughes or the quick slant passes. Badgers not finding much success. As a matter of fact, the only positive yardage that the Badgers offense has gained so far has been off of penalties against the Longhorns. So a rough start. Here we are on what I believe to be 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right of Page. Takes the snap. Steps up in the pocket, fires a deep shot back of the end zone. Caught. Did he get the feet down? He did. Damon Lackland got behind the secondary, but stayed inside the back line with the toe tap for the score. A 25-yard touchdown pass from Page to Lackland. And the Longhorns now lead by 3 scores. I've been told that number 10 is actually Kyle Pena, who is listed as number 1 on the league site, but number 1 is actually DJ Satcher, who is listed as number 4. And number 4 is Stephen Page. Number 4 is Kyle Pena. Pena throws, intercepted, or no, dropped. Just an incomplete. Either way, same result. The Longhorns lead 20-0 here in the second quarter. So Kyle Pena, number 4, had the passing touchdown. Hold on. You said Kyle Pena's 4?
Yeah, he's wearing 4. DJ's number 1.
DJ's number 1. Today. Okay.
Because the uniforms aren't the right size.
All right. No, did I get number 10 right at least? Damon?
No. Brendan, you mean. Brendan's number 28.
Yeah, Brandon Bennett's 28. Damon Lackland is 10, right?
Yeah, he's not here.
10 scored.
Yeah, he's not here, though. 28 scored, Bennett.
No, 10 scored.
10 scored?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's not here.
Well, I'm officially lost because number 10 is not here, but also he just scored the touchdown. The onside kick attempt is recovered by Greg Ryan. He actually tries to gain a few yards.
So they're having uniform problems. They're not sizes right, so that's why they... Yeah, it's struggling. But they should have it by next week. They will have the right names with the right numbers.
So a few uniform difficulties on the Longhorns side, mixing up with the roster on the league site. But we know that the quarterback, number 4, is Kyle Pena, while number 1 is DJ Satcher. Number 10 isn't here, but just scored the touchdown. Number 28 is Brandon Bennett, so I got that one right at least. And thankfully, I know who most of the Badgers are, so I got that pretty well covered as they go back on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 44. Oh, another false start. The Badgers O lineman have just been a little over-eager, a little twitchy to get up in their blocks. And they've just been off timing with Hughes. First and 15 from the 39 now. Snap, handoff, Morales runs into the pile, actually pushes forward for some positive yardage as he gains 3 yards on the play. And we've got a Badgers O lineman being helped off the field. That's number 63, David Dell. One of the starting guards for the Badgers. And that is a tough loss. So Dell going to sit down on the bench next to Roland Morales, who limped off the field with an injury earlier in this game. Second and 12 for the Badgers. The last time they had this down in distance was off of the 70-yard touchdown that wasn't, and they ended up throwing a pick six. They now line up with 3 receivers out on the wide side with 1 receiver on the tight side. Hughes hands off. Morales trying to find some room, shakes off a couple of tackles into open space, barrels forward for a nice gain. So a couple of times on the ground to Cuba Morales. The Badgers trying to establish the run as the pass hasn't had the openings they've wanted up to this point. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 5 off a 7-yard gain by Morales. 3rd and 5 from the 49-yard line. They once again line up with 3 out wide on the far side, the more open side, with 1 on the tighter near side. Hughes stepping back to throw this time, launches a deep shot, streaking down the field. Oh, off the mark, intended for Ali Saya. That throw looked like it might have had a chance for Ali Saya to catch up to it, but it veered off the mark. And so it simply falls incomplete. It will be 4th and 5. The first 4th down the Badgers have faced after getting picked off their first 2 offensive possessions. And a big decision, as this is very close to midfield, and it's not like 4th and forever. 4th and 5 is a doable distance. And down 3 scores, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Badgers go for it, and it looks like they will. Two receivers on either side of Hughes. Hughes fakes the handoff, rolls out, looking for space. Fires a shot down the field, diving catch! No, it bobbled it! Bobbled it when he hit the ground. They call incomplete. Number 5, Jean Janvier, seemed to have a huge first down catch for the Badgers. But once again, the biggest plays for the Badgers today have been the ones that aren't, as that will instead be a turnover on downs. Had the ball in his hands, but the impact of the ground popped it out of his hands briefly. And they ruled that his hands were not fully underneath the ball, meaning that it came loose after contact with the ground, which rules it an incomplete pass. So the Longhorns take over. 1st and 10 at the Badgers' 49-yard line after the turnover on downs. 2 receivers on either side of Pena, who takes the snap, looking to throw. Dumps it off for Satcher. Satcher seems to get the first down, but there was a flag thrown, a couple flags thrown, and a little bit of jawing after the fact. And I think what happened is offsetting. We had a false start call against. Okay, so we had a penalty on both sides. I see what happened. False start on the offense, 12 men on the defense. Offsets. Let's just mulligan that down. So take 2, 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 49-yard line. Pena takes the snap, steps back, throws, and it's off the face mask of number 7, who is listed as Noah Michael. So 2nd and 10 off the incomplete. Pena takes the snap, hands off to Satcher, who's got room on the right side, barrels forward, and he's got the first down. You know, again, the Badgers have to drop back and cover the potential deep options, have to respect the passing game that the Longhorns have established, and it just opens things up right in front of them. Oh, and now Badgers cornerback George Tate has come off the field, looking a little shaken up. Doesn't look quite as bad as some of the other injured players that have come off. So hopefully he is okay. 2nd and 10 for the Longhorns. Pena's snap. Fires out the left side, hits his man, and trying to juke around. I believe that was I think that's number 6 or number 8. I think it's number 6, Rakeem Langston, who made that catch. Good enough for another Longhorns first down. Couldn't tell if it was Rakeem Langston or Narrow Gee. It looks like it was Langston. Rakeem Langston. Gets the Longhorns the first down. 1st and 10 from the Badger 25. Stepping back, Pena fires a shot, got a man wide open, caught. Another touchdown, it's Jesse Round. And the Badgers just lost track of Jesse Round on the crossing route there. As he was wide open for that one. A 25-yard touchdown pass from Pena to Round. And the Longhorns now lead 26-0 as they get ready for the PAT. So far, the Longhorns 1 for 3 on their 2-point attempts. Pena looks, quick throw, hits his man in the end zone. I believe that is Round once again. It is. 2-pointer is good. Make it a 28-0 lead for the Longhorns here in the second quarter. Middlesex County.
White chocolate.
The Longhorns setting up to kick this one away. Another short kick. Oh, a hard hit on the attempted recovery, and the Longhorns are going to take it. Marquise Hughes tried to take it on the run, and that was the wrong thing to do there. Needed to fall on that ball. It's knocked loose by the Longhorns, and they recover it. And so instead of the Badgers getting the ball back one last time before halftime, instead the Longhorns will have a chance to try and go up 5 scores at the half. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the visitors at midfield. So the Longhorns offense gets to come right back out on the field. Pena steps back, fires to left side, hits a man in stride. Taking off with it is Lackland as he gets dragged down. A flag was thrown, but it might be against the defense. We'll see. Looks like, based on some reactions, this one might be coming back. And it's a holding call against the Longhorns. And so another big play undone by a penalty. This time a big play by the Longhorns undone. And they are going to lose 10 yards on that one. So the holding took place right at the line of scrimmage. Two receivers on either side of Pena once again. Satcher joining him in the backfield. Looking to throw, fires down the left side, hits Round this time. Round off and running. Defender doesn't have the angle, and it's a 60-yard catch and run for the score by Jesse Round. No flag to take it back this time, as the Longhorns go up 5 scores. 34-0 is the score now, as the Longhorns set up for another 2-point attempt. The Longhorns 2 for 4 on their 2-point attempts. They were successful on the last one on a pass to Round. It's a fade. Could not be caught. Broken up in part by the defense of Jean Janvier. And it looks like they're going to blow the whistle for halftime. At half, our score, the Middlesex Longhorns 34, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 0. The Longhorns scoring off a QB keeper by Kyle Pena, a pick 6 by Nick Carvalho, and then a flurry of touchdown passes. 1 to Damon Lackland and 2 to Jesse Round. The last one going for 60 yards on the last play of the half. Well, I'm going to take a break for halftime. I'm going to mute the mic, and we're going to play for you a trailer for this fall's upcoming new season of the official Golden Badgers docuseries, Only Way Is Up. Enjoy. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic, Jesse Mayfield Sheehan coming to you live from Daly Field in Boston, Massachusetts, as we get ready to start the second half of this East Coast Football League contest between the hosting MetroWest Golden Badgers and the visiting Middlesex Longhorns. The visitors well in control of this one, leading by 5 scores at 34-0. Their most recent score coming off the back of a successful onside kick, followed by a 60-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Pena to Jesse Round. In the live chat, we see a comment from John Andrews saying, watching from Florida. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too, John. Hope you're enjoying, hope you're enjoying this broadcast in spite of the Wi-Fi difficulties. Another attempted onside kick. This one covered up cleanly by number 80, Greg Ryan. And so the Badgers take over. They'll have the first offensive possession of the second half, starting at their own 45-yard line. Badgers had 3 offensive possessions in the first half, one of them taken away by the onside kick. Out of those 3 offensive possessions, 2 ended with interceptions, and 1 ended on a turnover on downs on what was almost a big first down catch that, unfortunately for them, did not survive the ground. See if the Badgers were able to make any adjustments at halftime. Find something to work here in the second half. Shotgun formation. Hughes takes the snap, hands off to number 13, who runs right into the pile. Nowhere to go. Going to be sent back for a loss. Looks like it's going to be a loss of 1 yard on the play. So not a great start. Two receivers on either side of Hughes, with number 13 in the backfield with him. They send John Vier in motion into the backfield. They're going for a jet sweep. John Vier looking for space. Space not really there. Going to be taken down for probably no gain on that play. And indeed, no gain. It will be 3rd and 11 from the 44. So the Badgers not able to make anything happen on a pair of rushing plays, and now a timeout is going to be called by the Longhorns. We got another note in the live chat from Bonnie McKnight, watching from Maine. Hi, John, 34-0. And yes, Bonnie, it is, the scoreboard is not lying to you. 34-0 is the score here as we are just starting the second half. The Longhorns found the end zone on all 4 of their offensive possessions and once on a pick 6. And one of those extra offensive possessions coming off a successful onside kick. So now 3rd and 11 with a long distance to go. Will the Badgers try and make something happen through the air now? After 2 unsuccessful run plays, they send Ali Saya in motion across the formation. Now 3 on the right side, hard count, and they stop the play as they're going to call an offsides. Hughes was trying to earn himself a free play there by just running it out, but the officials blow the play dead. And that'll be a 5-yard penalty. And that'll make it 3rd and 6. So 3rd and 6 from the 49. Still in shotgun formation, they send Ali Saya in motion once again. Ooh, the hard count backfire this time. Yes, it did. The hard count giveth and the hard count taketh away, as the Badgers will move 5 yards back to where they were on a false start. So 3rd and 11. So take 3 on 3rd down, and we'll have a play this time. Hughes pass dropped, and a hard hit came in a little late, and a flag is thrown as Devon Goss laid the hit on Jean Janvier after he dropped the pass. And that's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Badgers. So we had 3 attempts at 3rd down and got 3 penalties in a row. 5 yards forward, 5 yards back, and then 15 yards forward. And it'll be 1st and 10 on the Longhorns' 41-yard line. As again, the only 1st downs the Badgers have been able to get so far have been on opposing penalties. They got to find something they can do to move the ball. Hughes steps back, tries to take off, but nowhere to go. Scrambles out of the pocket, tucks the ball under his arm, dives forward, short gain. One thing you got to give the Longhorns defense credit for, and honestly with how they've been performing so far, you can give them a lot of credit for a lot of different things. But one key aspect is the way they've contained the running and freelancing ability of Marquise Hughes. Because when defenses aren't fast enough to contain him when he starts scrambling, that tends to open up things a lot for the Badgers offense. And we saw that on a number of plays last week, including their last touchdown. But the Longhorns defense has not really given him any openings while still containing the receivers. 2 yards on that wild scramble by Hughes. 2nd and 8 from the 39. 2 receivers on either side of the formation. Morales in the backfield with Hughes. Snap, fakes the handoff. Blitz is coming, gets the pass away, and a flag is thrown. They might be calling Carvalho for hindering the movement of Jonathan Joseph. Let's see what the calls are. So we had 2 defensive penalties on the Longhorns, an offsides call and a pass interference. The Badgers choose to accept the pass interference, which will get them another first down at the Longhorns' 24-yard line. Looks like a timeout has been called. So the Badgers, the beneficiaries of a couple of big penalties by the Longhorns. And we see in the live chat that John Andrews and Bonnie McKnight, fans of the Longhorns number 47, Chase Andrews. And uh-oh, someone grabbed the ball. The wind's blowing it away. That's just a fact of life out here at Daly Field, right on the banks of the Charles River. It's going to get windy out here. And even then, not necessarily the windiest spot in Boston. As it is, I was covering a youth baseball game earlier today out at BC High, and that's right by the Atlantic Ocean. And let me tell you, that brings wind. So once again, the Badgers able to move the ball off of a penalty, but they've not been able to get any first downs yet today that weren't the result of defensive penalties, as they're still looking to find the opening in the Longhorns defense that can allow their offense to push the ball downfield. They've gotten quite close to the red zone, though. 1st and 10 from the 24. Send Alisea in motion. Couple of adjustments to make sure everybody's properly set. Hughes takes the snap, hands off. Morales bursts up the middle. Morales with space. Cuba Morales dragging several tacklers as the Badgers get enough for a first, but a whistle. Oh, this might be another one coming back. We'll see what the call is. Or are they simply signaling the end of the quarter? I think they're just signaling the end of the quarter. Okay, so that's the end of the third quarter. Our score at the end of 3, the Longhorns 34, the Badgers 0. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after a quick word from our sponsor.
Hello everyone, I'm Dana Perello, owner of Diamond Pressure Washing and Car Detailing, LLC. I'm very excited to kick off the spring. We got some promos, 20% off for any pressure washing. Give me a call. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, diamondpressure101.com.
All right, so that run from Morales was good for a first down. The Badgers' first down they got without the aid of a penalty. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Longhorns' 12-yard line. The Badgers in the red zone for the first time today. Can they find the end zone and end the shutout? Hughes fakes the handoff, looking, now takes off running. He's got some room. Hughes racing for the end zone. Touchdown, Badgers. Marquise Hughes on the 12-yard QB keeper. As we check out the replay on this one, just took off running and enough guys had enough open space as he ran to the open side of the field. Enough guys were pulled in the direction that Morales went running as he ran towards the tight side. And the Badgers, while they still trail, and I mean, at this point, it's all but a foregone conclusion that they will fall to 0-3 on the season. However, they have scored a touchdown in each of their first 3 games, which for this team, the struggles that it's had offensively over the years, that's a pretty important step in the right direction. Badgers setting up to go for 2. Alisea in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Hughes trying to direct blockers in front of him. Pitch misses and bounces out of bounds. Well, the Badgers had a lot of different things working on that play, but in the end, it was a lot of sound and fury signifying nothing as the pitch bounces out of bounds and the 2-point attempt is no good. So the Badgers will be kicking off for the first time since the first play of the game. Our score here in the fourth quarter, the Longhorns 34, the Badgers 6. Got a note in the live chat from Tanisha Small. Go Marquise Hughes, number 3, celebrating the Badgers quarterback after his 12-yard touchdown run. And fun fact, that is the Badgers' first rushing touchdown this season. Their first 3 scores all coming through the air. Greg Ryan lining up to kick it away, trying to make sure all his teammates are properly aligned. High short kick, bouncing. Oh, it was recovered! The Badgers have it! Oh my goodness! The Badgers come up with the recovery. I believe it's Jonathan Joseph who got the ball. Let's take a look, see what happened here. It was a high and short kick. Because it was so close to the sideline, it had danger of bouncing out of bounds, but instead it bounces back towards the Badgers, and Joseph got off to a great jump around the coverage guys. And so because the return man opted to let it bounce, because it was so far in front of him, he opted for a bounce, tried to see if it was going to bounce out of bounds perhaps, or bounce into his waiting hands, but instead it bounces backwards and into the waiting hands of Jonathan Joseph. So both teams have now stolen a possession away from one another. As the Longhorns had a successful onside kick at the end of the first half, and now the Badgers have one here in the fourth quarter. So the Badgers will start 1st and 10 from the Longhorns' 32-yard line. Hughes takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking to throw, running out of time, gets a pass barely away, and hits his man. Completes the pass to Dasani Houston. And that will be good for another Badgers first down. You could see the edge rusher might have gotten a bit of a hand on it as that pass came out, kind of a lazy floater, but caught the defense off guard as Houston had stopped and created the separation necessary to catch that pass. A fresh set of downs for the Badgers as they are back in the red zone for the second straight drive. 1st and 10 from the Longhorns' 18-yard line. Once again, they go with a 2-back formation. Hughes hands off this time, and nowhere to go this time. Number 13 was trying to barrel through the tacklers, but could not find any room. A loss of 1 yard on the play. It'll be 2nd and 11 from the 19. Badgers on their last drive benefited from a couple of big Longhorns penalties, plus a big run from Cuba Morales before the scoring run came from Hughes. Now they've gotten a big onside kick recovery from Jonathan Joseph, and one big catch from Dasani Houston has them in the red area. Who's going to have the next big play here? They fake the jet sweep, dump it off to Jonathan Joseph, who catches it off the juggle into open space, dives forward for a short gain. Badgers tried to get a little fancy on that one, but the Longhorns did not bite on the fake jet sweep, and Joseph did not have the room he needed, as it looks like he gained about 2 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd and 9 from the 17, I believe. Or no, 3rd and 8 from the 16. Badgers definitely in 4-down territory at this point, unless they decide they want to try a field goal. 2 receivers on either side of Hughes. Takes the snap, drops back, fumbled the ball! He collided with his running back and lost the ball, and it's recovered by number 30, Scott Spinney. Another unfortunate turnover for the Badgers offense. And so instead of getting a chance to score a second touchdown, instead the Longhorns will finally get their first offensive possession of the second half. That's right, the Longhorns deep into the fourth quarter are getting the ball for the first time. That first Badgers possession of the second half took up so much time with all of the penalties and all the time in between plays that the third quarter just ended before the drive even finished. And then, of course, the Badgers got that crazy onside kick recovery. And so only now are the Longhorns finally going on offense. Pena takes the snap, dumps it off. Oh, it's a double pass. They fire it deep. Defense waiting, picked off. Marquise Hughes running it back. He slips and falls. This time it was the Longhorns trying to do a little too much. They had a lot of players fooled on that double pass. You can see Houston had jumped on it, but Marquise Hughes, the safety, had stayed back and attacked the ball where he needed to make the interception. And so the Badgers still with a chance to put a second score on the board. 1st and 10 from the Longhorns' 34-yard line. So now the question is, can the Badgers find those big plays they need to move the ball? They've been getting a few of them. They've had 3 10-plus yard plays over their last 2 possessions, which is more than the rest of the game combined. Two receivers on either side of Hughes. Morales in the backfield with him. Takes the snap, steps back, looking, fires as he's hit. Diving catch could not be made. Joseph tried to recover that ball, but not much chance as Hughes got rocked trying to get rid of that football. He's had the pocket collapsing around him on a couple of plays. And now it will be 2nd and 10. Similar formation, 2 receivers on either side. Hughes awaiting the snap in shotgun. Snap is low. Rolling out, flips a pass over to Houston. Houston cutting towards the middle, hit hard, stays on his feet. He's still going, but dragged down. Didn't gain much, but did move forward on the play. Sonny Houston did a nice job absorbing the hit there, although I'm not sure if he gained much from where he was initially hit, as it was a 4-yard gain, and it will be 3rd and 6 from the Longhorns' 30-yard line. Once again, the Badgers in 4-down territory in this stage of the game and this part of the field. So they'll have 2 chances to get 6 yards. Their last 3rd down, of course, ended with that disastrous fumble. They come out with the same formation again, 2 receivers on either side. Morales next to Hughes. They send Alisea in motion from left to right. Now 3 receivers on the right. Hughes takes the snap, fakes the handoff, fires for Ryan, going for it all! Touchdown, Badgers! They decided to go for the deep shot, and they connected a 30-yard touchdown pass from Marquise Hughes to Greg Ryan. Ryan's 2nd receiving touchdown of the season, his 2nd in as many games. You can see the safety tried to recover there, but could not get there in time. And with all the struggles the Badgers have had with turnovers when trying to go for big plays, I mean, you got to admire the guts to go for a deep shot like that. But it pays dividends, as for the 2nd game in a row, the MetroWest Golden Badgers have found the end zone twice. Going for 2 once again. Hughes hands off. Number 13 barreling forward. They're trying to push the pile, and they're not going to make it. So still no successful 2-pointers yet for the Badgers this season. But again, just for some context, I've covered almost every Badgers home game, spring and summer, since 2021. And these last 2 games are 2 out of 3 times that I've seen the Badgers score multiple times in a regular season home game. I saw them score multiple times in a charity game, as they do have their annual Sweets Bowl in November. But you know what? Like I said, still a pretty foregone conclusion that the Longhorns are going to win this ball game. But the Badgers, they're showing something that can be built off of. They're showing something that shows some promise for the seasons to come. And I think for this team, that's as important as anything. Greg Ryan coming off the 30-yard touchdown. Lining up for the kickoff. That's the 4th touchdown pass by Marquise Hughes this season. And a whistle. Something's wrong here. Not sure what's happening, if they were trying to get guys off to the sideline or what. Something was off there. And we got a former Badgers player, a former Badgers captain, going under the YouTube account name Big Bully. Former Badgers captain number 74 tuning in to watch some of his former teammates. And Tanisha Small in the live chat with a simple "Let's go Badgers" in celebration of their latest score. Ryan sends one deep. It's taken by Round. Round off and running. Round's got a hole. Round heading to the far side, slips and falls, tries to get back up, but he's wrapped up and brought down. Not sure if it was blown dead. Whoa, we got pushing and shoving in a number of different places. Looks like the festivities have been broken up here. And so it will be Longhorns football. It's going to be 1st and 10 as we wait to see where they mark it. Oh, did they throw a penalty flag against the Longhorns? No. No, they didn't. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 47-yard line after a nice return by Jesse Round, who already has 2 receiving touchdowns today. Pena takes the snap, hands off. Going up the middle is Bennett, dragged down from behind. Taken down by Marquise Allen. Looks to be about a 5-yard gain on 1st down on the carry by Brandon Bennett. 2nd and 5 from the 42. 2 receivers on either side of Pena, with Bennett sharing the backfield with him. Pena steps back, got time, fires a pass, hits his man. On the far side, that's Damon Lackland again, as a little extra hit by the Badgers defense after he was already out of bounds. And they're going to throw the flag for the late hit. And so that'll be some extra yards at the end of the play for the Longhorns. And so this will move the Longhorns down inside the red zone. Going to be 1st and 10 from the Badgers' 14. Pena looking to throw. Flag is thrown. Pena still looking, directing traffic. Fires a pass. Incomplete. Now the question is what the flags are, as they were thrown in the backfield. Typically you would expect a holding penalty on the offense in that situation, but it might be, you know, some illegal contact on the D lineman. Depends on what we see from the call. And it is going to go against the Longhorns, looks like. And it is going to be offensive holding. And then they call a dead ball personal foul on the Badgers. The ref clearly didn't like what someone on the Badgers bench was saying. And so the penalties are going to offset, and it's going to stay 1st and 10. Brief stoppage while the trainer on site crosses over from one sideline to the next to check on a Longhorns player. The Longhorns lining up with 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Satcher in the backfield with Pena. High snap, Pena takes it, rolls to his right, fires for the end zone, out of reach. Pass intended for Isaac Bethay. Too far, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. It's always so interesting with no operational scoreboard clock out here. The rule is basically we play until the refs say stop. So I can't really update on how much time we got left in this ball game. All I can tell you is that it is 2nd and 10 for the Longhorns from the Badgers' 14-yard line. Refs say 2 minutes. Just gave the 2-minute warning. Pena steps back, fires to his left, caught in the end zone. Damon Lackland again with his 2nd receiving touchdown of the day. That is the 4th passing touchdown today for Kyle Pena. 2 of them to Damon Lackland, 2 of them to Jesse Round. And the Longhorns reach 40 as they get set up for another 2-point attempt. The Longhorns 2 of 5 on 2-point attempts so far today. Pena steps back, quick pass, caught, tackler evaded, and it's a successful 2-pointer to Isaac Bethay. And it looks like they are going to line up for another kickoff. (42-12) is the score in favor of the Longhorns. Jesse Pierce, or actually no, I think it's not 11, it's 41, Shane Davis, who is lining up for the kicks. Misidentified. It's another onside kick. I think they touched it before 10 yards. It was recovered by the Badgers anyhow. And so the Badgers will get the ball back. We'll see if they blow the whistle for illegal touching against the Longhorns. And I believe they did. They downed the ball where it was first touched by the Longhorns. It was about a yard short of 10. And they do call illegal touching. And so the Badgers will get the ball again. And now the question is, can the Badgers reach some unprecedented territory with 3 touchdowns before this game comes to a close? Again, it's fourth quarter, less than 2 minutes left. They're down 30. You know, the result is pretty set in stone by this point. But for the Badgers, this is about, you know, this is more about showing what they can do. You know, it's about showing, you know, other guys that might show up in the future, hey, we can build something. And the more big plays you make, the more you show of that promise for the future. 1st and 10 from the Longhorns 44. They send 2 receivers in motion at once. John Vier and Ali Say. I think it doesn't count as motion. I think they were just on the wrong sides of the formation as they get properly set up. Hughes takes the snap, hands off. Number 31, Kyle Farrell, stood up at the line. Might have been a loss of 1. It looks like they're going to mark that as a loss, I think, of 1 yard. Bit hard to tell, but I think it's 2nd and 11 from the 45. Badgers' last possession, they went for an isolated go route on the tight side to Greg Ryan. That got them a 30-yard score. They come out once again with 2 receivers on either side. Hard count. Who jumped? Offense jumped. That'll push the Badgers another 5 yards back to midfield. Officials saying we've only got 10 seconds left now. The Badgers have to get up to the line. They have to run a play if they want to get one more snap off. So likely be the last play of the game. So the Longhorns probably just going to go into prevent. Hughes steps back. Oh, he's being rushed. He's scrambling, running, chucks it up in the air. Tipped and knocked incomplete. And that will be the last play of the ball game. Hughes just floated up a prayer there, and Jonathan Joseph tried to fight for the ball but could not come away with it. So that is your final. The Middlesex Longhorns 42, the MetroWest Golden Badgers 12. The Longhorns improved to 2-1 on the season, while the Badgers fall to 0-3, but for the 2nd game in a row, the Badgers score multiple touchdowns. And, you know, like I said, the team showing a bit of promise. It's not showing up in the win column yet, but it's still something. For the Badgers, their 2 scores came off a 12-yard QB keeper by Marquise Hughes and a 30-yard touchdown pass from Hughes to Greg Ryan. For the Longhorns, their touchdowns, a 7-yard QB keeper by Kyle Pena, a pick 6 by Nick Carvalho, and then 4 touchdown passes by Kyle Pena, 2 of them to Damon Lackland and 2 of them to Jesse Round, with the longest one being a catch and run by Round for 60 yards at the end of the first half. Well, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I know the Wi-Fi connection has been rough. And I appreciate you guys sticking around regardless. You know, be on the lookout for the recorded version, which will be uploaded tonight after I get back home. So you can watch, you know, full video of all your favorite plays from this game without the Wi-Fi difficulties getting in the way. Be sure to be on the lookout for that, and be on the lookout for all things Golden Badgers football by subscribing to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say, feel free to say it in the comment section down below. I'm going to wrap up this broadcast with one last look at the trailer for the upcoming new season of the official Golden Badgers docu-series, Only Way Is Up. So be sure to check that out. But from Daily Field, I am Jesse Mayfield Sheehan, Longhorns 42, Badgers 12. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.